Alright, welcome to the debut of Adam Warlock in Alliance War. I feel like he did a very solid job here. He's just a very fast attacker and a very strong attacker in my opinion. So yeah, just a really good showing today. We have 4 fights planned. One of them right here is Hazard Shift, Bleed, and Shock. Then we have some Path 8 action, and then a Rank 5 Apocalypse on Stunning Reflection. So yeah, the game plan here is to just use my Stasis Pod because the Stasis Pod gives him shock immunity, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just utilize that, and the fight will be pretty, straightforward. But then I used the Odin pre-fights because, get this, I thought, what if I don't finish the fight in under a minute? Famous last words, man. Oh my gosh, famous last words, because I did the fight in about 30 seconds, which is just, absolutely crazy, right? And I'm fully boosted because, it's my first time using him in Alliance War, so yeah, I gotta be safe. And right here, I was kind of shocked because they placed the 3 cool masteries, and that really caught me off guard because the plan was for her to purify the stun when she hits into my Stasis Pod, but that didn't happen, right? Because, she purified the Bleed and Poison. But right here, I go for the SP2 to, activate the pod once more, get a little bit of a safety net there. And yeah, now the fight's just in my control. I drop the SP2 one more time, and yeah, the power just... it's a little too much, and we get to the SP3, but the fight's pretty much over anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, the fight's done in about 33 seconds, which is pretty dang insane, man. For a rank 1 7-star Shuri, that is pretty solid. And now we have this Prowess Power Storm, and I really underestimated just how powerful Prowess Power is, because oh my gosh, she gained so much power in this fight, man. But yeah, thankfully Adam Warlock has his taunt mechanic, because the taunt mechanic makes her more aggressive, and it makes her throw the special attacks more often. So yeah, that kind of saved us for sure. I threw this P1 here just for a safety net, but yeah, the power gain starts to become a little bit too insane, and yeah, it just becomes a very baiting special attack heavy fight. But he still does it pretty well. Right there, she threw it instantly, man, so that was pretty scary for sure. But yeah, the taunt is just doing its work, and it's making sure that she's not going to the SP3. So yeah, just a pretty good time there. And yeah, the fight's just over in about 36 seconds, which isn't too bad at all. And now we have this Gore, and Gore is pretty dang annoying, right? But Adam Warlock is a great Gore counter because you don't really want to block with Adam, but Gore is all about punishing your block with the debuffs, right? So Adam just doesn't really care about that, right? Because he just doesn't have to block. So yeah, the fight is just pretty straightforward with Adam Warlock. The game plan here is to just have more buffs than him at all times, and Adam Warlock does that pretty easily because he has his true damage, his unblockable, his fury, his precision, and then the Odin pre-fights as well. So yeah, just a pretty easy time to maintain the buffs. And the fight from here on out is kind of just over because we have the SP2 now. We can just keep on looping it, and he just can't do anything about it, right? So yeah, just a pretty straightforward fight, a 30,000 crit right there. And yeah, the fight's kind of just over already. We go for one more combo hit, and we can just drop the SP3, and the fight's just done pretty much. So yeah, very straightforward fight there. And it was about 40 seconds, I believe. It would have been 30 if we didn't throw the SP3, but I just did it for safety. And now we have the main event, which is this rank 5 Apocalypse on Stunning Reflection. And rank 5 Apocalypse, he is a beefy boy. He has a ton of health. He has 380,000 health. So yeah, definitely not an easy fight and a pretty long fight for most characters, right? But Adam Warlock, he just does so much damage, right? So he just doesn't care. But yeah, the game plan here was to just not go for the SP2 and not go for the SP1 because they both stun, right? The Stasis Pod has a chance to stun him there, and the SP1 has a guaranteed stun. So yeah, I just couldn't stun him at all, or else I get reflected and I would just, die. And I just lose my combo as well. But yeah, the game plan here is to just go for the SP3 only and just hopefully see how that works out. And you're going to see here that I do one hit and then I dash back, right? Because that usually prompts him to throw a special attack, and it works 90% of the time pretty much. So yeah, just keep that in mind. A little pro tip there with Adam Warlock. But yeah, the fight is just going perfectly now, right? We just have our Furies built up, and we are about to complete the counter too. So yeah, just looking pretty good. He's already down halfway pretty much, which is pretty solid. And yeah, we bout the SP2 once again, and it's about to be time to start the counter once again. So yeah, the fight's looking pretty well. He's doing a lot of damage now at this point, so yeah, pretty fun times. So here I can just, play a little bit slow here, just rebuild. And I'm going to hold the SP3 because the SP3 is a very good safety net, right? So let's say he's playing really passively. I can just use the SP3 as a way to maintain my sovereignty counter. So yeah, that was the game plan. And you're going to see here, he goes passive for a second. He dashes back right there. So I'm okay, it's time to throw it. It's time to maintain my combo right here. And I think that was the best time to use it for sure because he starts playing aggressively after that. So yeah, just really save myself there. and now I can just go in for a combo, and we're doing a lot of damage now, like 18,000 medium, 27,000 medium, and yeah, the fight is just over. And that was a rank 5 Apocalypse. It's over 380,000 health in about a minute and 19 seconds. So yeah, just a really solid performance there. And yeah, that was my first war with Adam Warlock. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this character. For me personally, I feel like he's just, super good, man. Such a good war attacker, such a good battlegrounds attacker, just an all-around monster of an attacker. And yeah, that's about it for me.